If you're watching this video, my guess is that you would like to start working out in the morning, right? One of the best times to work out because you don't have any responsibilities, you can create consistency, but you're struggling waking up and getting moving. And so in this video, we're really gonna dive into a couple strategies to make the most out of your morning, to hit the ground running when you start your day, and to be able to exercise first thing during the day. So if there's anyone who should be talking about this, it really is me. Back when I graduated college, I was in an awful routine. I was sleeping until noon every single day. No matter how many times I committed to waking up at 9 a.m., 10 a.m., I could not pull myself out of bed. And so when I started my first full-time job and I had to be in work at 9, and I was super busy, I really wanted to make time for working out, but for some reason I just couldn't, right? The first few weeks, first few months were tough, like setting the alarm, maybe going 1, 2, 3 times a week, even though I wanted to go all 5 times, struggling when I actually did go, being really tired, having to pound some caffeine, pound some pre-workout. Since then I've been able to make a massive shift, and recently waking up in the morning and working out is one of my go-to things. I don't need caffeine, I don't need pre-workout, like I can just get up and go. And of course I use those things, like I have those days where I want to and where I do, but for the most part, because I've created this structure of what we're about to talk about, waking up earlier is easier. So overall, I think there's 4 specific things that really helped me on my journey that I want to share with you today. Now, number 1 is really the fact that your morning starts the night before, and that if you really want to have an effective morning, you have to get your nighttime routine in check. Now, there's a couple things involved in here, right? There's the aspect of really making sure that your sleep quality is good. The better quality of sleep that you have, the more energized you're going to be when you wake up. But there's also the fact of you can truly prepare to make sure that you have less to do when you wake up in the morning, right? If you have to wake up and you have to prep your workout and plan it, you have to put your clothes out, change into them, get all your stuff, like pack your bags. If you have to do all of that, there's a lower chance that you're going to do it because it's going to be more resistance when you're tired. And so if you can get your nighttime routine right, not only are you going to be prepared for the morning, but you're also going to sleep better, which is going to allow you to be more energetic. So a few key things that really helped me on my journey. So number 1, get off electronics at least 30 minutes before. So many of us are so accustomed to just rolling over in bed before one last Instagram check and falling asleep. But that blue light from your phone is actually really interrupting your sleep quality. So even if you fall asleep right after, the hormones you're producing aren't going to be as effective for recovery and for allowing you to wake up energized. And so simply by just creating 30 or so minutes before bed without your phone, not only is that going to be great for your mental health, because you can create that time to just, read, relax, not be so connected to all this stressful stuff, all this dopamine, but it's also going to be great for just allowing you to create more time and use that time to plan. And so usually if you struggle getting in this routine, one of my best recommendations is to set an alarm on your phone. You set an alarm to wake up in the morning, so why shouldn't you set an alarm for when it's time to wind down? So usually what I do is I set my alarm for 5 minutes before the time I want to wind down, just kind of as an alert, like, okay, let's wrap up. And then when it's actually time for me to start winding down so I can just shut off. And then in that nighttime routine, I do things that don't involve electronics that relax me, and I also prep for my next day. So what does that mean? For me, that means planning my day out on my planner, scheduling, tasks, everything like that. It also means planning my workout so I know exactly what workout I'm doing the next day. And then it also involves putting my clothes out. Right? When I get up, I don't want to have to search through my drawers, search through my closet for what shirt, what shorts I want to wear. I want to just walk in the bathroom and just immediately change. So just by that step alone, you will be massively more prepared, and the resistance you feel to working out is going to drop pretty significantly. Now, the second thing I would recommend is getting up no matter what and avoiding the snooze button at all costs. What most people tend to do is when they wake up, they're tired. And so when they're tired, their first instinct is, well, let me just get 5 more minutes. This is really backwards because when you snooze, your body actually goes into a deeper sleep, and the next time you wake up, you're going to be even more tired. It's something called sleep inertia, and you're literally more tired for the next few hours after you wake up than if you had just gotten up in the first place. And yes, you would probably feel tired. Yes, you probably will. But if you do that, you're going to adjust more quickly. You're going to start waking up and being more energized over time. Now, doing whatever it takes is difficult for people. When you're in that tired state, even if you say the night before, I'm going to get up on my first alarm, it's a whole different game. And so 2 techniques really helped me on my journey. Number 1 is as simple as putting your alarm across the room. Right? If your alarm is across the room, you have to get out of bed. Now, if you struggle like I did, I would set my alarm across the room, I would go turn it off, I would go back to bed. So what you could do is you could set 2 alarms. 1 alarm across the room, and then 1 alarm for 2 or 3 minutes later across your house, your apartment, basically on the other side of where you're sleeping. And so now you have to, yes, turn your alarm across the room off, but now you have to leave your bedroom and get out to turn the next one off. The second strategy I use is something called 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's a strategy by Mel Robbins, and basically when you count backwards and treat it like a rocket ship blast off, you're activating the more mental side of your brain rather than more of the emotional side of your brain, which allows you to make more rational decisions. And so if you're laying in bed, if you literally treat it like a rocket ship blast off, you go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Instinctually, on that one, you should be able to follow through. You should be able to just do it. It's just a weird mind trick that has really been proven to work. And so if that's you, one of my biggest recommendations is start training yourself to avoid the snooze button. This is going to be a huge adjustment at first, but once you adjust, I swear it's life-changing. You know, I hit snooze every once in a while now, but for the most part, my first alarm goes up, I'm up. I'm starting my day, and it's saving me not only time, right? Because if you think about it, if I were to set my alarm for 7 and then snooze until 8 a.m., I could literally just set my alarm for 8 a.m. and get an extra hour of deep restorative sleep, which is going to be super beneficial. But obviously, along with that, you're also teaching your mind and your body, hey, when I say I'm going to do something, I do it. No matter how I feel, no matter the resistance, which is a skill that you can use in other areas of your life. So that's strategy number 2. Strategy number 3 is, especially when you first get started, focus on showing up to the workout rather than thinking about how much you're going to kill it. You know, especially if you're going to the gym or you're running and you're doing something that's really hard, it can be a huge mental mountain to think about, you know, hitting squats first thing when you wake up or doing high reps to the point where it really burns when you wake up. And so the first few weeks, if you have to, lower the weight, lower the intensity of the exercise, because we want to create as little resistance as possible. Because if you're telling yourself, you know, I'm going to go hard, I'm going to go hard, I'm going to crush it, and you wake up and you're tired and your body feels like it can't even handle that, the mental resistance is going to say, no, I need more sleep, I'll work out later. Or no, you know, it's going to be too hard, I'm just not going to go altogether. But I'd rather you go through the motions to allow your body to adjust than thinking that your first workout is just going to be perfect and you're going to absolutely crush it. You know, it's not being hard on yourself, it's giving yourself grace throughout the process. So that's number 3. And then number 4 ultimately is more of that mental game, which is just allow for an adjustment period. You know, don't think that your first workout is going to be full of energy, and don't think it has to be that way. You know, if you've been working out at 2 p.m. for your entire life, or you've been working out even later after work, like 6 p.m., 7 p.m., it's going to be a really massive adjustment to go from, you know, moping around your house, getting ready, eating food, all of that, versus getting up and just going intensely for an exercise. And so be okay for the first few weeks with not being super intense, with cutting your exercise a little short even maybe, and being tired, right? I think that's a big reason that people go wrong, is they think the tiredness they feel on day 1 is going to be the same tiredness they feel forever, but it's just not true. Once your body starts to adjust, your hormones are going to automatically shift, where you're going to cut off the melatonin earlier, you're going to be producing more cortisol earlier as well, and it's going to allow you to make a quicker adjustment. So don't think that that first day is going to be what it's going to be like every single other day. Just understand that the more you do it, the more you're going to condition your body and your mind to be able to go at it harder. And then if you need to, use some pre-workout, use some caffeine, right? My recommendation, always get in water before anything else. Don't drink coffee first thing. And then if you are going to go the caffeine route, try to wait about 30 minutes till after you wake up to drink it. It's just better for how your body processes it and allowing you not to get too adjusted to it too quickly. But if you're going to and you need a little hack, that's a great option for you. All right, so I hope this has been helpful for you. Leave me a comment below with what your favorite one of these is, what one you could see being the most helpful, and start getting those workouts in the morning. Man, it is so much easier to do than if you say you're going to go midday and then a client call comes up or anything else, or if you go after work, but then after work you're stressed, you're tired, and all you want to do is relax. So much easier to hit it first thing in the day, and not only does that allow you to stay consistent, but what you'll find is it actually creates a better day once you're adjusted. You know, for that adjustment period, you may be a little more tired and you may be a little more sluggish throughout the day, but as soon as you get this schedule right, you're going to feel incredible that you knocked out a workout while everyone else was asleep, and it's going to be a massive confidence boost. So if you are working on getting in shape and you're struggling with consistency, you're struggling with the strategy, you're not really sure if what you're doing is sustainable, or maybe you just tried too long and you're not happy with the results you've seen, check the link in the description of this video for a brief guide we put together on how we use mindfulness and awareness, fasting, and fitness to make incredible health transformations. I'm telling you, it's like nothing I've ever seen. I'm so proud of what we put together and what the body is capable of. And it's done, you know, without cutting out your favorite foods, without being starving and tired all the time, without yo-yoing back and forth. It's something that really is sustainable. So check that out. Otherwise, if you're still looking for more awesome videos, make sure to subscribe to this channel to stay in tune with what we're doing every single week. Make sure to reach out and leave that comment. And of course, as always, make sure to eat smart, move more, sleep deep, and be grateful for this moment. I'll see you in the next video.